Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Saraswati Namo Nityam Bhadrakalyai Namo Namaha. Veda Vedanga Vedanta Vidyasthanebhya Eva Cha. Saraswati Mahabhagye Vidye Kamalalochane Vidyarupe Visalakshi Vidyam Dehi Namostute. Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurureva Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hari Om. After this first chapter, the first Dashak, which is basically introduction to the book. That is what we did, the first topic. And all other topics are in the praise of Sri Ganesha, Lord Ganesha, Goddess Saraswati, the Guru, spiritual teacher, Sadguru, in praise of saints, great poets, of the listeners also. The congregation itself in praise of the spiritual path and the uniqueness of the human body. It is only in this human body that self-realization is possible. It's only a human question, isn't it? Who am I? It doesn't come to anybody else. This existential problem, isn't it? And this stuti is done. This stuti is done so that we recognize the significance, the importance of each one of them who is being praised. And as we said, the stuti is done so that we, the seekers, the learners, understand where we need to reach. It's like, we also learn how to be. The destination also should be known to us, isn't it? So, and the strength, the courage, the knowledge on the path is also received by understanding, knowing the importance of this knowledge, the significance of it, the glory of it, the glory of the gurus, and why do we need, who are these, so-called role models or epitomes. It's very important. One must never forget that, as Gurudev Chinmayananji always said. Never let your work catch you without your morning prayer. So what is your day going to be like? Okay, so we all wake up in the morning and we know we have all these things to be done. But right in the morning, if you are doing stuti, what happens is you understand the glories. It is like an affirmation to oneself. So you do that and you recognize, no, you are not there and you still have to get there. Very clear how the day is going to be. Very important to know. And when a sense of surrender also comes, there is a sense of beauty. You fall back on these deities, on the Guru, on the scriptures, because we hold them in a pedestal, right? They are something higher above. So anything that's gone wrong, which I haven't been able to fulfill or not accomplish, I can always fall back on them and find out where did I lack and improve. See, on the path of realization, God realization, we say moksha, mukti. Important thing is when the truth is known to us or something, a higher truth than what I know today is being revealed to us, is being told to us. Every effort we must put to walk on that path and transform. That teaching has to transform us. Otherwise, it's of no use. It is just knowledge. And that kind of knowledge can give us a lot of pride. So we must avoid this pride that arises from knowledge. Wisdom usually makes a person very humble. If that person is truly wise, he is never proud about anything. So we must be watchful about this. So that's why praise was done. So on the second topic, and as we had decided that we are going to take up the second topic, all the second Dashaka, under which Swami Samartha deals with signs of fools, good qualities, knowledgeable fool, that is an educated fool, as we say. He speaks of wrong knowledge, right knowledge, then the three gunas. Yeah. So something that we can relate with easily. And as we read, we realize it is so simple. I mean, there is nothing. He has not complicated anything. He has made the path very easy for us. We just need to read and apply. So we can always refer to this book, go back to this book. And what has Swami Ramdas said about this? How do I deal with this person? So this is the Dharma Shastra. It talks of Vyavahar as well. Because one thing is the spiritual path where we need to anchor within ourselves, in that we are not concerned about the world. So knowledge about that is required, Atmajnan, we say. But as we are progressing, we are still dealing with the world. We have to deal. We're living in this world, isn't it? So there is a certain transaction that goes on. So we must know how to handle ourselves in this world also. And that is exactly that is why Swami Ramdas talks of fools. I mean, why does he take up fools? Not to call us fools. Yeah, we read that and I may say, oh, I've been such an idiot, I'm such a fool, I should change. But this is more like in the Shastras, there is Nitya Karma. There is every day what one has to do. And then there is also that karyam, that karma, which one should avoid, which is prohibited, right? So when we read about the signs of fools, he's not trying to call us a fool. Rather, he's saying, understand, if you see this, if you notice this, observe this about yourself, please change. And if you see it and another, there is no need to condemn him as a fool. You will be careful how to deal with him. You will get into unnecessary trouble. When we deal with fools, how many of us have had the privilege? I don't know. As there is a saying, isn't it, that there is a limit to genius, but stupidity is unlimited. Very true. And there is another quote also about fools, stupid people. It said that, like when a person who dies, the dead person knows no suffering. The other people suffer, who have to now take him and do whatever has to be done. Exactly like that, it is with the fool. He doesn't suffer his foolishness, the others suffer. So it is very sad if we have to deal with fools. So it is better to be warned before. First of all, like I said, Vedanta, we always look at ourselves. It is for me. So let me see, does it apply to me? If it doesn't, then if I do come across this, what do I do? So what is to be avoided and what is to be done is exactly, that is why he is talking about fools. And we must also understand where he comes from. He's composed this book some 400 years ago. So keep in mind the period, where he belonged to. And so definitely time and age affects every composition. So based also on the society that he belonged to at that point of time. So definitely, and he's talking to people of that age, right? How they should have transactions. So this we must keep in mind. And in this, I was quite surprised to find that Signs of Fools, this first topic under second Dashaka, there are around 74 verses on the Signs of Fools. Everything else is much lesser. And he also says in this that he has quoted a few and not all. But he says generally you get the idea. Okay. So, so we must not waste any more time. And usually I've seen that they don't spend much time reading all the 74. They just tell you what you should avoid doing and go on to reading good knowledge. But we are going to read all. Since all the topics, we are going to do all the verses. We are not skipping anything. They are very simple. So there is no need to skip anything. So right in the beginning, Shri Samarth Ramdas Dashak Dusra Murkha Lakshanatsa. There you have it. Shri Rama Om Namoji Gajanana. First 7 verses we shall just read in Marathi and then take up the English translation. Om Namoji Gajanana Ekadanta Trinayana Kripa Drishti Bhaktajana Avalokave Tuja Namu Vedamate Shri Sharade Brahmasute Antari Vase Kripavante Spurati Rupe Vanduna Sadguru Charana Karuna Raghunath Smaran त्यागार्थ मूर्ख लक्षण बोली जी एक मूर्ख एक पडत मूर्ख उभय लक्षणी कौतुक श्रोती सादर विवेक केला पाहिजे पडत मूर्खांचे लक्षण पुढीले समासी निरूपण सा अवध होमनी विचक्षण परिसोथ पुढे आताम प्रस्तुत विचार लक्षणे सांगताम अपार परिकाही एक तत्पर होऊन ऐका जे प्रपंचिक जन जयांच नाही आत्मज्ञान जे केवळ अज्ञान त्यांची लक्षण ओम नमोजी गजानना Om, I bow to you, Lord Gajanana Sri Ganesha. This is Mangalachan. The moment we start this, so Shri, Om, we do right. It is Mangal, auspicious. If there is a sad news you have to give somebody, then you don't usually, many years ago, we had only these postcards and inland letters and letters we would write and post, So, usme inland letter mein agar, if I am writing, especially to my parents, if I were out and I was writing to them, if it didn't have Om or Shri on top, and if there was no inauspicious message to be given either, then my parents would be so mad. Because Om has to be there on top. That shows everything is okay. Then I go on reading. We have email and mobiles and all that. That quickly we can catch up. So they are worried. They read and Om dekh liya to theek hai. Sab kuch is okay. I remember I was scolded so badly once because that I missed. Ya to Shri likh do ya Om likho. So everything is okay. That is the way. So here Om. I bow to you, Lord Gajanana, the God with one to take a danta and three nayana, three eyes. I pray to you to kindly look at your devotees. Kripa. He is the one who is a remover of obstacles. So any obstacle that is coming my way that I am not able to see clearly, please remove it from me. Kripa Drishti Banar. Tuja Namo Vedamate Shri Sharade Brahmasute. So by, O Mother of Vedas, Goddess Sharada, the daughter of Brahma, Brahmasute, may you reside as inspiration in our heart and bliss. Spurati Rupe. Antari Vase Kripavan. So beautiful. See, it is very important when we are going to study, when we are going to learn, to invoke Goddess Saraswati's blessings and grace. So that when I am reading, I am not thinking about Lakshmi. Sorry to say, but my mind should not be going into how can I make money by reciting all this. Vishaya, you're gone off somewhere else, we are distracted from our goal. So if it is Goddess of knowledge, let her come in. Inspire me. I'm not able to understand, but I do not give up. Why? Goddess Saraswati's grace is there, right? So this way, stuti, to keep in mind, by surrendering to the feet of Sadguru and by remembering the name of Raghunatha, Karuna Raghunatha Smarana, I will now tell the signs of fools so that you may drop them. Tyaghartha Murkha Lakshana. Acha, Murkha Lakshana, you may drop them. Drop them home if you find that you are dealing with a person and this person may be a family member for them. Dangerous, no? Yeah. But we should watch for this lakshanas. And if it is, just kind of keep away. Do not, then you must know how to deal. Are you going to tell your family's secrets to them? Are you going to confide in them? No, there is no need to do these things. Yes, you have to put up with them. You have to live with them because they are family members. Very clear, see. It says, drop them. And if you think you are doing this at any given point of time, you are also showing lakshanas of becoming a murkha. Being a murkha, drop these things. Observe. One must pay attention. He says, some are stupid simpletons and some are educated fools. Eka murkha hai, and eka padata murkha, he says. So the listeners may please differentiate. You have to Shroti Sadara Viveka Ela Paije. You must be able to tell the difference between the two because your behavior to the two will be accordingly. Ek hota hai, matlab, he is just a buddhu because he has no clue about the subject matter. एक होता है पढ़ा लिखा subject matter के ऊपर he knows everything, but he can also be a fool. So with both of them, you have to deal very differently. And we must be able to make the difference. So now for the present, we are thinking about the signs of fools, which are numerous, but please attend to some of them, which I am going to describe. Also, he says, these signs are pertaining to persons attached to family life who are ignorant and have no self-knowledge at all. ऐसा तो नहीं है, we have no self-knowledge. We are seeking that. We know that there is something like that. So we are not murkhas. But certain other ways, this way we may not be. Let us see what all signs is he directed. Attached to family life. This itself is very difficult. You may be in family life. One must be involved, but not necessarily attached. Because once you are seeking Atma Jnana, and as you are seeking Atma Jnana, the more you want to get into it, what do they say? Drop all attachments. Attachments to what? Whatever that you are attached with, that knowledge which you have received through your senses, through the mind, through the intellect, which constantly responds with the I thought, that I thought which is the ego. Now, if you see, what are all the things that have risen with the ego I thought? So you will have to involve in them, but don't be attached to them. Anything that is involving the ego I thought. So this I thought and its associates, they are all impermanent. They keep changing. They come and go. Isn't it? Think for yourself. In fact, every night in deep sleep, they all die. Because I, as an ego, I am not available. Hey, where were you last night? You didn't hear anything. No, I don't know. When I woke up, I heard that there was a burglary in the next building. You didn't hear any noise? No. Where were you? I was dead to the world. So I have not heard anything. Where were you? I wasn't there. So I am saying I wasn't there. Who was the one who knew you were not there? And there was a time when I was not there. In fact, every once in 24 hours, I am not there. This I, when it is not there, nothing else is available. No mind, no world, no sensory perception, no experience. And then when I wake up, I say, I slept so well. This is a universal experience. Not particularly to Hindus because we Hindus speak about it. I slept well. You slept well? And in fact, when I'm not available this way, is when I can truly say I slept well. Isn't it? When we say I didn't sleep well, why? What happened? I had too many thoughts, right? Which means no thinking has to happen, then there is no world either, and I am also not there. When I am not there, actually it's a very blissful state. The only difference is when I am not there, I also don't know about it. So when I wake up, I say I had good sleep. When I am sleeping so well, at that time I don't know I am sleeping. Isn't it? So this deep sleep state is where it is very blissful. That is why every jantu, jiva jantu, every being likes to go into deep sleep state and come back. That's a blissful state. But it is also filled with ajnanata, ignorance of what? Existence. I don't know. Therefore, this realization of the self is also called an awakened state. Awakened state, how is it different from deep sleep state? Awakened state is when the state is absolutely blissful and I am completely aware of it. Jago pyare, ab kya soye. Kabira says, जागो प्यारे. इसको जागृत होना क्यों कहते हैं? Awakened one. Because there is no world, there is no I, ego, and I am awakened to that. That is it. You know? So now, detachment, because I know that the I thought arises, and in the Jagrat Avastha, this I thought, which is the ego, is in full manifestation. So for an awakened one, this Jagrat Avastha mein jo koi fully kaam kar raha hai, he is the one who's sleeping. For us, the Jagrat Avastha is reality. We don't consider deep sleep or dream. Dream, so we wake up and say, "Arey, it was a dream." But for the awakened one, even the Jagrat Avastha is a longer dream. That's all. Right? So, detachment from this Jagrat Avastha, this ego manifestation, and with its kith and kin, is very, very important. So when we understand that detachment because of this reason, nobody is asking you to leave your wife or husband and children and go away. This is the inner adjustment that you have to. We cling to everything that is impermanent and seek permanence there. Therefore, we are constantly unhappy. This is the mistake. So it is not about not using the things of the world. Let it be there with complete understanding that it is not going to last. When it is going away, just accept it. But that we cannot accept, isn't it? That is foolishness. From the awakened one's point of view. So these attachment to family life starts because of the I, ego. So whatever it is, I cannot give up. I'm not even going to give up this world. Okay? So I am here. I may want to be a guru. So I am dependent on my students to make me a guru. So there is this connection with the world. So whatever it is that cannot be given up, there is no need. Attachment. So we need to know how to deal with it. Involve yourself. Bhagwan Krishna is the classic example of how he constantly involved. His life was full of activity, yet completely detached. He is known as the only brahmachari that was there. And then we say he married so many wives. No? It's the brahmachari, acharanam of Brahman, constantly, never ever forgetting the source from where he came. This is the way to. So this is beauty. So he says, signs pertaining to persons attached to family life who are ignorant and have no self-knowledge at all. Okay? So now we will see from the 8th to 10 verses. We shall take up 8th to 18th maybe. जन्मला जयांसा उधरी तयासी जो विरोध करी सखी मनीली अंतुरी तो एक मुख सांडून सर्वही गोत स्त्री आधेन जीवित सांगे अंतरीची मात तो एक मूर्ख परस्त्रीसी प्रेमाधरी श्वशुर गृही वास करी कुळे विण कन्यावरी तो एक मूर्ख समर्थावरी अहंता अंतरी माना समता सामर्थ्य विण करी सत्ता तो एक मूर्ख आपली आपण करी स्तुती स्वदेशी भोगी विपत्ती सांगे वडिलांची कीर्ती तो एक मूर्ख अकारण हास्य करी विवेक सांगता न धरी जो बहुतांचा वैरी तो एक मूर्ख आपुली धरुनिया दुरी पराव्यासी करी मैत्री परन्योन बोले रात्री तो एक मूर्ख बहुत जागते जन तयामध्ये करी शयन परस्थळी बहुभोजन करी तो एक मूर्ख मान अथवा अपमान स्वये करी परिच्छिन्न सप्त वेसणी जयाचे मन तो एक मूर्ख धरून परावी आस प्रयत्न सांडी सावकास निसुगाईचे संतोष मानी तो एक मूर्ख घरी विवेक उमजे आणि सभेमध्ये लाजे शब्द बोलता निर्बुजे तो एक मूर्ख ठीक है एक मूर्ख हा एक मूर्ख बापरे says that man who behaves against his parents who have given birth to him, who have given him birth, and thinks that only his wife is his real friend. He's a जन्मला जयासी उधरी तयासी जो विरोध करी. So an example is given. Okay? Now, don't think that the Shastras are all against women and wives. In fact, Chanakya says, Chanakya Niti में बोला गया है, your wife could be your best friend. In fact, that is how it should be. A marriage, our Pujya Guruji, our Swamiji, Dayanandji, he has conducted many marriages also in the ashram, and he would speak so beautifully about the seven steps that the bride and the groom take, and about the relationship between husband and wife, what it should be like. And he would speak of friendship at every level. And that's the beauty. If you have a friend in your husband or your wife, then life is so beautiful. Life can be very simple. Yeah. So that is important. But there's a big catch here. It may happen that the wife is not viveki. Now here, it could apply to the husband also. We should not only say, because there are so many other lakshanas he has spoken of. It could belong to any man, and that man is also a husband, which means he could also be a lakshana, right? So here he says, if you have an aviveki stree, a man should be very watchful. If he is married her and he recognizes that she lacks the ability, to discern between right and wrong, between good and bad, and she has too much attachment, raga, dvesha, then he must conduct himself appropriately. He should not go against his family. First of all, parents, one must never go against, what they hold good for you. Common sense, actually. Because in this world, parents think the best for us. How much ever we may think that it is not suitable for me, they have nothing but our welfare in mind. There might not be another person who thinks like this. So we must be very careful about. So he says, such a person, by discarding all relatives, the man surrenders his life to the whims of his wife and reveals his secrets to her. Such a person is a fool. And one who loves the wife of another man. He has mentioned this also. Parastrisi premadhari. One who resides in the house of his father-in-law. Gar jamai bankar jo bolte hain na. And the man who marries a girl not belonging to a good. Kule mea kanyavari to ek murka. He marries a woman who does not come from a good family. Okay, imagine. She comes from a good family is what? It's very important. Here, when we look at a girl or a boy to be married to, we must consider many things, because especially in our culture, we are looking at a lifetime partner. It is never, divorces, separation and all was not spoken about at all. There was no concept. You are married. So therefore, it was very important that we understand what kind of family she comes from. Because then we can gauge what will be her upbringing, what will be her tomorrow if there is a problem, how can we approach and how can we sort? Are they because two families get together. This has been the concept of marriage. Family is the unit of society. So every family, there has to be peace and compatibility. I remember when somebody, went to the astrologer to show, horoscopes, कुंडली कि ये भाई मैच हो रहा है क्या लड़का लड़की का, प्लीज बताइए. तो ही सेड, अरे बहुत अच्छा मैच हो रहा है, ये तो मतलब रेल की पटरी की तरह चलेगी. तो मतलब व्हाट इज दिस, हाउ कैन यू गिव सच एन एग्जांपल. मतलब कभी मिलेंगे नहीं, नहीं नहीं, रेल की पटरी कभी मिलना ही नहीं चाहिए. Is very clearly they should run parallelly, the family will be head. So when one is having bad times, the other should have good times. When the other is having good times, the one, so that you can save each other. And there is always talk of supplementing each other, where one makes up for the other, one covers up for the other. So this is the beauty, this is the basis on which a marriage, not ki bhai मुझे पसंद आया, लड़की कोई भी किसी भी घराने की हो, शी लुक्स ब्यूटीफुल, इट्स गोइंग टू फेड अवे इन सम टाइम, दिस ब्यूटी में गो अवे. तो ये लक्षण, ठीक है, ज्यादा इस पे नहीं बोलना चाहिए, बिकॉज वी हैव अदर थिंग्स टू गो टू, आई थिंक. वन हु एक्सप्रेसेस हिज प्राइड इन फ्रंट ऑफ अ ग्रेटर पर्सन, then such a person also, greater person, in fact, in the Taittiriya Upanishad convocation address, the Guru says, Samarthavari ahanta antari mani samata. He says, Guru says, do not, when there is an expert or there is a guru or there is a person of wisdom in the room, you are not supposed to even open your mouth until you are asked to speak. This is lakshana of good behavior, of somebody who's brought up well, somebody with good manners. But then this fool will go on be talking. And he will try to express, how smart and wise he is in front of the wise man. Such is the fool. You may have come across such people, definitely. One who expresses his pride in front of a greater person and thinks himself to be equal to that man and tries to rule without having capacity is also a fool. More and more we are getting to relate with such people. Tries to rule without having the capacity. And usually we say, fools have such confidence. The intelligent person who will think twice, अरे यार जो कर रहा हूँ ठीक कर रहा हूँ यार, I am having a doubt, is this okay, is this all right to be done? And when a fool thinks, see, he is so doubtful, he is such a fool. The fool is very confident and he thinks he knows and he is right. This is the sign. One who praises himself, one who undergoes suffering even though living in his own country, and the one who tells others how great were his forefathers, these are fools. So he says, one who praises himself. This one should not do. People should find out about you, like they say, your work should speak about you. And the way you conduct yourself should speak about you. But here, this fool praises himself and living in his own country, he suffers, meaning he is in his home. And yet he is suffering and he is complaining and he is blaming. Jaise ki he is put in some other situation which is totally new. One can understand that. I found myself in such a place of which I have no idea and I had to take up a lot of hardship to overcome that. It's fine, I can understand. अपने घर बैठे, अपने ही घर में बैठे, where he could probably change things the way he wanted, yet he will talk of how much he is suffering at home. Have you met such people? If you haven't met, you are truly privileged. आपने बहुत पुण्य कर दिया. One who praises himself, one who undergoes suffering, and the one who tells others how great were his forefathers. Avoid करो अपने बारे में बात करना, constantly boast about oneself. Then the man who laughs without reason, जो yes, अकारण हास्य करी, विवेक सांगता न हो, does not listen to words of wisdom when advised, and man who is enemy to many people, जो बहुतांसा वैरी. What is enemy to many people? sometimes people will come and tell you, I don't know why nobody likes me. This one always thinks bad about me. That one is always thinking bad of me. I have done only good, but everyone thinks I am. Now see, each one is allowed to have one or two enemies. Each one is allowed that somebody will not understand you. Avatars like Sri Rama and Sri Krishna were not understood. They had enemies when they lived. People were ready to take their lives. Okay, so that can happen. But everybody, you have a problem with everybody, then you must wake up and say, no, 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 there must be a problem with me, right? They will come and complain to you about everybody. Every job they go, everywhere there is a problem. And you say, listen, maybe you need to change yourself. No, I have done nothing. What are you saying? So you see, they won't even take advice from the wise. The man who abandons kith and kin and makes friendship with strangers, and the man who blames others at night time, these are fools. I specifically night time, Swami has said, I don't know, but I think, daytime we complain, it is like sitting back and saying, I am all right, everybody is wrong. At the end of the day, we say, night time. At the end of the day, the world is wrong. These people are wrong. They did. My family is wrong. My mother didn't do this for me. My father didn't do. My husband didn't do. My wife didn't do. But I have lived a right life. Right? At the end of the day, I did good. Fool. The man who sleeps among so many people who are awake, if he is among sadhu santa, and he hasn't tried to awaken himself. And the man who overeats at unknown places. Overeating is a murkhapana. And then at unknown places, doubly all the more, isn't it? You should not eat. If you have gone to even sometimes they say you go to this place, you must try. Array, you are in Lucknow, you must try this. You're in Hyderabad, you must try this. Okay, but find out which is the right place. Is it known? Make it known. Understand? Just kahin bhi jaake kuch bhi kha liya. Very apt for today's world. I don't know 400 years ago whether this, but it must have, because people, it is written about here. The man who tells about his praise or insult to others, and the man who has got 7 types of bad habits. What are they? The 7 bad habits in the English translation is gambling. Gambling. Second one is visiting prostitute, it said. Robbery, gossip, to have immoral relationships with others' wives, to play with small birds like doves and parrots, etc. To go to listen to the song of prostitutes. These are all he considers bad habits, and he says fools go do this. Fools have this habit. What more to say? We have to drop it. There is no question. Anybody doing all this, try and keep away from that sangat also. Important. One who depends on others and leaves his own effort and enjoys being lazy is a fool. Correct. Absolutely. There is nothing to be explained here. The man who shows off his wisdom at home but cannot speak a word in public meeting and is afraid to talk is a fool. हाँ, तो बहुत घर पे शेर बनते हैं जैसे बोलते हैं. At home, all pros and cons and all the words of wisdom from the scriptures will come out. अच्छा ठीक है, you, because this is your belief and this is your faith. Why don't you speak to the members in the society and tell them, place your point of view? Arey nahi, kaun jayega? Who will understand? I don't want to talk. They won't understand, and I have no time. You see what all like, so once you do, twice you do. This is the way you always doing. This is such a person. Having said this, let's go ahead with the 19th one. 19th to 20, 19th to the 20, 30th. 30th तक. आपणाहून जो श्रेष्ठ तयासी अत्यंत निकट, शिकवेणेचा मानी वीठ तो एक मूर्ख. नायके त्यांची शिकवी वडिलांची जाणीव दावी. जो आर्जास गोवी तो एक मूर्ख. एकाएकी एक सरा झाला विषयी निलाजिरा. मर्यादा सांडून सैरा वर्ते तो एक मूर्ख. औषध न घे असो न वेद. पथ्य न करी सर्व. न मिळे आलिया पदार्था तो एक मूर्ख. संगे विण विदेशी करी, संगे विण विदेशी करी, ओळखी विण संघ धरी. उडी घाली महापुरी तो एक मूर्ख. आपणास जेथे मान तेथे अखंड करी गमन. रक्षुनेने मानाभिमान तो एक मूर्ख. सेवक झाला लक्ष्मीवंत तयाचा होई अंकित. सर्व काळ दुश्चित तो एक मूर्ख. विचार न करिता कारण दंड करी अपराधे विना. स्वल्पासाठी जो कृपण तो एक मूर्ख. देवला अंड पित्र लंड शक्ती वीण करी तोड. ज्याचे मुखी भंड उभंड तो एक मूर्ख. घरीच्या वरी खाय दाडा, बाहेरी दीन बाकुडा. ऐसा जो वेण मूढा तो एक मूर्ख. नीच यातीची सांगात परागणेसी एकांत. मार्गे जाय खात खात तो एक मूर्ख. स्वयनेने परोपकार उपकाराचा अनोपकार. करी तोडे भोले फार तो एक मूर्ख. Now let us see what it is in English. The man who makes himself very familiar with a person of high ranking. They are concerned, this is a very, very popular person, VIP person. I would like to be friends with him. I would like to. So constantly only looking, there are people who like to drop names also while talking to you, just to tell you how well connected they are. But you ask them something about them and you will know that they don't know this. Just, oh, you're talking about that. Oh, I know them very well. Where have you met and what has happened? Aage nahi bol sakte. So they love to do that. It's a murkha lakshan. Which means what? Speaks a lot about the character of the person, isn't it? So he says, this way he makes, and one who is tired of listening to good word, he is a fool. One who gets to teach others, goes to teach others who don't want to learn. And one who shows off his knowledge to elders and who deceives a noble person is a fool. To deceive a noble person, is foolishness. So one who does not take medicine though having ailment. No, before that. One who suddenly dares to enjoy sensual objects and is not ashamed to do so. And who exceeds the limits, like Maryada Sanduna, you exceed the limit. Which means you are not able to control your sensory perception, and the objects of senses have such hold on you that you break all boundaries to satisfy. Such a person is a fool. Then, one who does not take medicine though having an ailment. One who does not observe the rules of diet. So here, see, every master knows. What do we always learn? I am not this body. But yet, what is said? It is in and through this body that I will recognize the highest. Therefore, this body is a tool. It is required. So one must take care of. Like you have a vehicle and you must service the vehicle so that it can take you to places you want to go at convenience, isn't it? नहीं गाड़ी है लेकिन पेट्रोल अभी नहीं डालना है तो फिर चलेगी कैसे? इफ मूर्खता है ना तो you, if it is not well, the body is not well, it must be treated. And also food, one must take care of what kind of food. In fact, annam is aushadam according to Shastra. What is aushadam? That which is good for the body. So annam has to be consumed like that. Whatever it is that suits the body only should be eaten. And each one of us knows what suits us and what does not suit us. And that control we must have. So observes, if he does not observe the rule of diet, I'm not supposed to eat this food, but I'm always tempted and I eat that. So I'm giving into all these cravings, isn't it? It's foolish to do that. And one who does not remain satisfied with what one gets, that is another thing also. Jitna mile, kam padta. One who goes to foreign lands without company, one who becomes friendly with strangers, and one who jumps into the river in spate. These are fools. So he's warning, basically, against. See, these are also, as I said, times, in which he lived. No, I don't think there was all this conveniences that we have today. So one has to be very careful. You're going to foreign land without any knowing about the food, about company, who's there. It's dangerous. The man who frequents the place where he gets honor, just because he is honored, he keeps frequenting such places. And the one who does not care to keep his discretion and self-esteem, these are fools. If a servant becomes rich and the owner starts serving him, the owner is a foolish person. The man who is always depressed is also a fool. If a servant becomes rich and the owner starts serving him, have you ever come across something like this? Again, if you haven't, you are privileged. So you will wonder, what is Swami Ramdas talking? But let me tell you, there are these people also. There are those people who have no vivekam. For various reasons, you will find that they will be serving the servants. So isn't the servant a human being and not to be served? It's not in that sense. Maryada, that has to be kept. They do not understand that. And especially if the servant becomes rich, now he has become a moneyed person, and therefore, then definitely. The man who is always depressed is also a fool. So if you are depressed about anything, which may happen, okay, we are not denying that, one must see that this should not continue. You are in depression. This is something that has happened, but your healing is your responsibility. Get out of it. Like Swami Chinmayananda would say, you have no business being depressed. But today, somehow, depression has become, forget being common, seems to be like a trend. Everybody seems to take a lot of, what to say, not pride, but some kind of a sense of, they get this, and I am going through depression. And I'm happy about it. I seem to like it. I like the sudden attention I'm getting from people. What is this? Where are we going? Depression comes with wrong thinking and overemphasizing our own imagined sufferings and misgivings. A normal, healthy person cannot be depressed. So one must work on this, put an effort, and get out of this depression if it has happened. Then, without going into the cause, one who punishes others without guilt, very sorry state of, and one who is a miser in minor things is a fool. A miser is a fool only. But why only in minor things? If he is also in minor things, then definitely that is all probably what Swami Ramdas wants to say. One who blames God, his forefathers, and does not worship them. This is all because of my Purvaj. My parents did this. From that is why I am suffering. What God has given me, what has God done for me? And I don't care. I am not going to worship them. I have not received anything. I have not got anything from them. This is the way of their thinking. One who babbles without capacity can go on babbling. There is no babbling itself means that to go on talking without making any sense. One who is always quarreling and using bad words. These are all stupid. One who gets angry with family members and very humble and shy in public. Which means what? He is at home, like we saw that before. With family members, he can talk a lot and he will argue and quarrel. But when he goes out, he is very shy. These are all also some kind of psychological disorders, which I think Swami Ramdas has simply put it as a fool. But outside they go, people won't believe that they can be this kind at home, and outside they are so humble and shy, very polite. Such a man is really foolish. The man who keeps company with lowly people, one who is intimate with another's wife, and the one who eats while walking, these are fools. A yogi does not do this, eating while walking. But today, all very, what we say, happening meetings, corporate meetings and weddings, there is this, what is we call buffet system. And where with our plate, we have to stand in a queue to get food. Holding the plate, we go. One thing, we have to serve ourselves. We have to stand and eat. And I know one yogini in Badrinath, she was once saying, we were all sitting lunchtime and she found one person standing. She said, Pata hai, who are the ones who eat while standing? You tell me. All animals eat that way. Will you see any animal sitting and eating? So he said, you are a human being. Please don't stand and eat. So one thing, it is good for digestion if you sit down. If you sit in Vajrasan or in Sukhasan. That is, the way we sit on the floor and eat. But somehow, these habits, these have simply died. Because we are simply copying the West. In the West, it's pretty cold. But if you see, even in those cold countries, the one with wisdom actually sit down. The dining table is placed low. And they sit down, they kneel and they eat. But all of that is given up now. We have dining tables, forget dining tables. We stand and we eat. Now he's saying he is a fool who eats while walking. We must not be doing this. Okay. Swami Ramdas has said, we must hold ourselves. Then, what does he say? One who does not know how to help others, he behaves wrongly with those who oblige him, and one who does little but talks. क्या बोलते हैं उनको? There is some saying, 12 मुर्गी 4 मसान. ऐसा कुछ है ना? Meaning, murgi is very little. 4 murgi, and then there is lot of masala. Meaning you talk a lot, but you do very little. Such is a murkha, and he doesn't help anybody. He behaves wrongly with those who oblige him. If you even come across one such occasion of somebody who has done this, you recognize that he has behaved wrongly with somebody who did good for him, it should be like a savdhan attention. Remember, just see this behavior is not acceptable. Keep in mind. Now, from the 31st, we shall read. Tapira khadad alasi, तुष्य कुटिल मानसी, धारिष्ट नाही जया पासी, तो एक मूर्ख. विद्या वैभव ना धन, पुरुषार्थ सामर्थ्य नाम मान, कोरडाच वाहे अभिमान, तो एक मूर्ख. लंडी लटिका लाबाड, कुकर्मी कुटिल निछाड, निद्रा जयाची वाड, तो एक मूर्ख. उंची जाऊन वस्त्र नेसे, चौबारा बाहेरी वैसे, सर्वकाळ नग्न दिसे, तो एक मूर्ख. दंत चक्षु आणि घ्राण, पाणी वसन आणि चरण, सर्वकाळ जयाचे मलिन, तो एक मूर्ख. देन वैधृती आणि भीतिपात, नाना कुमुहूर्ते जात, अपशकुने करी घात, तो एक मूर्ख. क्रोधे अपमाने कुबुद्धी, आपणाच आपण वधी, जयाच नाही दृढ बुद्धी, तो एक मूर्ख. जीवलंगास परमखेदी, सुखाचा शब्द तोही नेदी, नीच जनाचा वंदी, तो एक मूर्ख. आपणाच राखे परोपरी, शरणागताच अभेरी, लक्ष्मीचा भरवासा धरी, तो एक मूर्ख. पुत्र कळत्र आणि दारा, इतुकाची मानुनिया थारा, विसरून गेला ईश्वरा, तो एक मूर्ख. We shall just quickly read the meaning of these and then we can conclude for today. He says, one who is constantly angry, voracious, lazy, dirty, with a crooked mind, and has no courage, is a fool. One who has neither education nor money, no capacity, no adventure, no honor, and vainly shows off his pride, is a fool. One who is, here I think he says sexy, oversexed, meaning constantly thinking of the opposite sex, rascal, and a deceiver, one whose actions are dirty, one who is wicked, without any shame, and one who sleeps like a dog. All these are fools. One who changes his clothes while on high spot. सबके सामने. One who squats to ease himself on thoroughfare, जहां से लोग गुजरते हैं. These are things that would have happened and maybe continue to happen even today. One who is always naked, these are fools. One whose teeth, eyes, nose, hands, clothes, and feet are always unclean is a fool. He is no longer just unclean person. The tag of murkha has been attached. One who sets out on a journey at bad time and returns home after he sees bad omen is a fool. Matlab, he has not first of all considered is it good time, bad time to leave, but he leaves. And then he goes out and he says, I saw some bad omen, I have come back. Fool. One who gives much troubles to friends, does not speak any kind word, and bows to lowly people is a fool. One who tries to protect his skin by any means, one who insults those who have come for help, and one who puts trust that he will always have money. These are fools. He believes that money is always with him and with money he can do anything. It's a foolish idea. And such one who trusts this is a fool. One who thinks that his wife and children are his only supporters and forgets Ishwara, God. He is a fool. Till the 40th we have seen. If we see these lakshanas anywhere, understand that it is difficult to make such a person or to correct such a person, to advise him. Because we sometimes wonder how much we have told, this person doesn't change. तो ये लक्षण देखते ही पता होना चाहिए कि do I get disturbed with such a person or just can I be at peace? Murkha lakshana. This is why it's important. If it was not important, Swami Ramdas would not have written so much. So are we going to pay attention to that? No, we are just going to see that we are not, because we want to pay attention to the good qualities. That is being written later. I mean, he has composed that, and that attention we must. But as Nishiddha Karma, we should realize this also. People say, na, I want to only see the good. Sometimes this fool is also acting like a good. His actions are very good. He might be shy, humble outside, you see. But he is actually a fool, and you should not be carried away by such things. You should know. You cannot ever have a positive without a negative, no? So you should know both if you want to know the truth about you, about yourself, about others. That is intelligent living. So there is no question that I don't see bad in others, I want to see only good. You are definitely calling for disappointment. You are also going to be making very wrong judgments. You are only looking for good. Take all the good, no doubt about it. But to say I will only look at good, problem. So when you see and speak to a person, lakshanas, keep in mind. There is no way you can get cheated or fooled, isn't it, by anybody? Without any attachment, if you are just watching, observing that person. And then becomes easy. You know how to interact with everyone, whom to keep at a distance, whom to be close with. And that Viveka Buddhi one must use. As Bhagavan says here, Swami Ramdas says, he says, just becoming very close with strangers and staying away from people whom you have known for a long time. Believing, trusting, and thinking that, okay, I have the money, that will help me throughout. All lakshanas, no? One must be careful about this. And we must keep away from these things. So some more lakshanas, and I think next topic we can go to the good qualities also. And in fact, at the end of this first topic itself, Swami Ramdas says, please forgive me for having said all this. You know, so like that, and today we feel bad, no, when we speak about this and when we are listening to this. But I said, yes, this is important also. Let's not just give it up. And yes, if we ever catch ourselves with any observe and we find, hey, I'm getting carried away by this. Hey, this is, I'm overdoing this. this I am crossing my limits. One must understand one's own boundaries, one's limitations. That is samarthya. So this word samarthya is very, very important. Respecting others' limitations, boundaries, very important. Huh? Like I said, I always say, love is unconditional, but relationships are conditioned. And we have to respect those conditions. How will we respect those conditions? Only when we know them all, isn't it? What is limiting, what is unlimiting? So, I love this person. I have to show unconditional love, so I go and hug a fool. You're calling for a disappointment. Love is within you. You are already, and come to recognize that. So when I meet a fool, I am not angry. If somebody is insulting me, I am not angry with that person. I don't hate that person. That is having unconditional love. But how am I going to behave with him? Use your wisdom. That is important. And here bhakti plays a big role. If you're an emotional kind of person, all your emotions that you feel, somebody insulted you, you're feeling bad. Somebody spoke badly to you, you are hurt. So you have your Ishta, no? Krishna, Shiva, whoever. Throw all those emotions on your favorite deity. Don't feel bad about it. So somebody hurt you. Krishna, why did you hurt me like this? What have I done? What did I tell you today? Why have you done it? Speak it up. And throw all your anger at Krishna. Let it be only towards Krishna. Feel all that emotion. Sublimate that. It reaches a point where it turns into complete devotion. And bhakti is that. After a point, you are not angry about anybody in this world. Because what you have done at every point of time, when anybody hurt you, anybody has angered you, insulted you, every time you have seen it as Krishna doing it to you. And if Krishna has done that, you can't hate Krishna. You can only fight with Krishna. Why did you do this to me? I'm angry, I will not talk to you for 10 days. I'm angry, I will not eat now. Fight with Krishna. Because next moment you have only Krishna to talk to. How long will you keep quiet? You will go, you will cry, you will beg. All of these sentiments sublimated with your will. This way, when you do, slowly those emotions simply evaporate. And the next time something like this happens, you yourself laugh like, Krishna, you are again at this joke. You don't feel any more hatred towards anybody. You are not insulted. This ego sublimates, evaporates. This rigidity of the ego, you must allow it to flow. And bhakti is a very beautiful thing. Whoever can have an ishta. For Meera, Krishna was an imaginary husband. But everything that imagination had, that's all she had, and she held on to one thought. That's all we needed. Your Ishta Devata or your Guru. But it should be totally onto that. Purifies the mind completely. And dissolves the ego there. ठीक है, तो ये निषिद्ध karma we have studied. Next class we will complete that also. So what all has not to be done, what all one should avoid, ways of thinking one should avoid, no showing off, no pride, not praising yourself. We tend to do that. We tend to, we are looking for appreciation and praise. Who doesn't like it? But we must, as seekers, think, is this necessary now? Where am I going with this? Okay, so 10 people who think like-minded have appreciated what I do. Okay, that is okay. Don't take it too seriously. Drop it. So no pride in anything. It had to happen, it happened. Because here, Swami Ramdas says it is a murkhon ka lakshan. Do I want to be called a murkh by my own guru? No way. So I'm not going to do this. Shall we conclude for today? Yes. पूर्णमदम कर ले.
पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Shanti.